If you enjoy the content on this channel, please like and subscribe. Conclave is a 2024 film directed by Edward Berger, written by Peter Straughan, and based on the 2016 novel by Robert Harris. The film stars Ralph Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, Sergio Castellitto, and Isabella Rossellini. In the film, Cardinal Thomas Lawrence, played by Fiennes, organizes a papal conclave to elect the next pope and finds himself investigating secrets and scandals about each of the candidates. Conclave premiered at the 51st Telluride Film Festival on the 30th of August 2024 and was released in theatres in the United States by Focus Features on 25th of October 2024 and in the United Kingdom by Black Bear UK on the 29th of November. The film received positive reviews from critics with praise for the performances, directing, screenplay and cinematography, and grossed $46.6 million worldwide. It was named one of the top 10 films of 2024 by the National Board of Review and the American Film Institute. Among other accolades, it received nominations for 6 Golden Globe Awards, including Best Motion Picture Drama, and tied with Wicked for leading 11 nominations at the 30th Critics' Choice Awards, including Best Picture. It was announced in May of 2022 that Ralph Fiennes, John Lithgow, Stanley Tucci, and Isabella Rossellini were set to star in the film, with Edward Berger directing. Additional casting was announced in January 2023 as production began in Rome. Filming also took place in Cincinnati. Filming concluded in March of 2023. The set designers took great care in replicating the Sistine Chapel, though they took some artistic license with the Domus Sanctae Marthae. They made their set more prison-like to enhance the dramatic tension because they felt that the real version was rather dull. Costume designers visited Gamarelli, Terrelli Costumi, and several museums in Rome as part of their research. For the Cardinal's red attire, costume designer Lizzie Crystal opted for yew used in the 17th century cardinal vestments rather than one used in the modern times, believing it to be far more beautiful and far easier on our eyes, she would say. While writing the screenplay, Straughan said he met with cardinals to discuss the logistics of the conclave. He also took a private tour of the Vatican and said he did not feel any hostility while there and felt that the Vatican had been open to him. German composer Volker Bertelmann composed the score to Conclave, his 5th collaboration with Berger. Bertelmann also composed the score for Berger's All Quiet on the Western Front, released in 2022. Some interesting trivia notes. Many of the actions Cardinal Lawrence and the rest of the cardinals take during the film's conclave process are true and accurate to the Catholic faith and centuries of tradition. After the Pope dies, his ring, called the Ring of Fishermen, is removed and destroyed. The Vatican makes an official announcement that the throne of the Holy See, the Catholic Church's governing body, is now vacant. The papal apartment is closed off with a crimson ribbon and sealed with a wax papal stamp. The College of Cardinals are sequestered in apartments, known as St. Martha's House, to eat and sleep between votes. Finally, the windows and doors to the Sistine Chapel, where the actual election takes place and ballots are cast, are darkened, shuttered, and locked to maintain the secrecy of the conclave. This is Carlos Diaz's first major film appearance. He was an architect until 2020, when his last child left home and decided to take online acting classes to go to auditions. The word conclave is derived from the Latin meaning of a place that can be locked up, or com, which means together, and clavis, which means key. In the novel in which the film is based, Cardinal Benitez is Filipino and arrives from Baghdad in Iraq, not Kabul, Afghanistan. When Lawrence and Bellini discuss the size of the cassocks on the rolling rack, it's an indication of what happens after a new pontiff is elected. Before the new pope first greets the faithful, lay assistants known as the papal gentlemen help him put on his robes. An array of sizes are on hand for this first appearance. The next day, the new pope is measured for his new wardrobe. This is the 4th time the Sistine Chapel has been built as a set at Cincinnati Studios for a feature film, after The Agony of Ecstasy in 1965, The Shoes of the Fisherman in 1968, and The Two Popes, released in 2019. In the days before the machinery and special smoke effects shown in the film, the votes of an unsuccessful round were traditionally burnt with straw to give the smoke a dark hue. White smoke from the Vatican chimney signals that another pope has been elected. In the novel, Ralph Fiennes' character is named Cardinal Lomeli. Brian F. O'Byrne originated the character Father Flynn in John Patrick Slaney's Broadway play Doubt, which opens with a sermon echoed by Lawrence's, touting the need for doubt as a crucial part of faith. Ralph Fiennes and Stanley Tucci previously appeared in Made in Manhattan in 2002 and The King's Man, released in 2021. The film is largely accurate on canon Catholic law, but the plot centers on the violation that is never explained. Since the 16th century, many men have been made cardinals secretly or in pectore, usually to protect them politically. According to current canon law, a secret cardinal is no longer a cardinal after the pope who appointed him dies. In the novel, Vincent Cardinal Benitez remains a cardinal because the law was recently changed in the story's universe. Assuming no other popes in the film's universe have chosen the same name, the new pope would have been Innocent the 14th. 13 popes have been named Innocent. The most recent, Innocent XIII, served from 1721 to 1724. The choice of the name is believed to be highly symbolical, often indicative of the political course that the new pope will follow. In this case, the most recent popes called Innocent were reform-orientated and took steps against corruption, like the new pope in this movie. In the movie, the Pope dies in the room of the Vatican guest house. Traditionally, the Pope lives in the papal apartments. However, Pope Francis decided to live in a small two-room suite in the Vatican guest house and use the papal apartments as an office. The film may be implying that the dead Pope is now Pope Francis. In the final scene, Lawrence notices that the locked shutters have darkened his room since the sequestration of the cardinals has been reopened. He opens the window to look outside and sees 3 nuns exit a door into the courtyard. The door remains open for the moment and then closes very slowly behind them. This may well be a visual representation of the cliché: when God closes a door, he opens a window. Now, Conclave is a gripping and thought-provoking film that blends brilliant acting, a fascinating story, and a deep exploration of the Catholic Church's traditions and history. The performances are undoubtedly one of the film's strongest aspects. Each actor brings a sense of authenticity and gravity to their role, portraying the complex characters with subtlety and emotional depth. The tension among the cardinals in the election of the new pope is palpable, and the actors navigate these delicate political and spiritual dynamics masterfully. Once again, Ralph Fiennes turns out an absolutely outstanding performance here as Cardinal Lawrence. He is really the glue that holds the whole film together. But there's some fantastic performances here from a much more dramatic Stanley Tucci. Wonderful to see John Lithgow once again on our screens, and I was highly impressed with Sergio Castellitto as Cardinal Tedesco, a far-right Italian traditionalist. Not to mention an excellent performance here from Carlos Diaz as Vincent Cardinal Benitez. I would have liked to have seen a bit more from Isabella Rossellini as Sister Agnes, as she really has a sort of bit role within the film. The story itself is both compelling and rich in exploration of the inner workings of the Catholic Church, particularly in its centuries-old traditions surrounding the papal selection. The script provides a great insight into the spiritual and political tensions that exist within the conclave, offering a glimpse into the secretive nature of one of the world's most influential institutions. However, while the narrative is undeniably engaging, the film does move at a slow pace. This intensity, while effective in building suspense, may feel drawn out in parts, especially for viewers accustomed to a faster-paced storytelling. Some moments maybe linger longer than necessary, and the tension, though expertly crafted, could have been tightened in certain sections to maintain the momentum. What stands out for me most, though, in the film is its ability to make poignant points about faith, power, and human nature. The movie examines the conflicting desires of the cardinals as they are torn between their loyalty to the church and their personal ambitions. It raises interesting moral questions about leadership, ethics, and the choices we make in positions of power. The atmosphere, settings, and attention to detail in the depiction of the Vatican and the conclave process provides a real sense of immersion, and a powerful reminder of the weight of history that hangs before this important event. Overall, Conclave is an excellent piece of filmmaking, from its wonderful acting to its fantastic insights into this most complicated of processes. Even if at times it is slow-moving, it really does provide you with a fantastic dive into the inner sanctum of the Catholic Church. It's a film that will challenge viewers to think about tradition, faith, and the balance of power in the institution that has shaped much of the world's actual history. The story can be somewhat melodramatic at times, but overall, this is a superb piece of filmmaking that will leave you enlightened. Conclave gets an 8.5 out of 10.